My name is Natasha Harrison, and I am a senior graduating in May 2012. I am an accounting major, and I recently was able to go on the Berkshire Hathaway Warren Buffett trip. The most impressionable part of the trip was how personable Mr. Buffett was. It was like hearing advice from a mentor or a friend, not from Mr. Warren Buffett. The day started early, and we went to the Nebraska Furniture Mart, and we had a personal tour by the grandson of Mrs. B, who's now the CEO and president. He just talked about the way they run their business and how involved or how little involved Mr. Buffett is, because he lets them have the freedom to make their own mistakes and learn and grow as a company. Forsheim's was also amazing. The CEO and president came and talked to us just about the history of the store, and again, the relation to Berkshire Hathaway and Mr. Buffett. And she had an amazing story about just where she came from and how she doubted herself when Mr. Buffett asked her to take over as the CEO, and that was 14 years ago, and she's never looked back. So she doubted herself, and he said, "You underestimate yourself." One of the most funny things he said was to marry the right person. I thought that was really entertaining. So it was just great to hear his business and personal advice in an informal setting. It was very interesting to be around the other schools, and I definitely appreciate Professor Bauer's recommendations on how to dress and how to act, because I feel like NAU represented, or the College of Business represented NAU phenomenally. My biggest takeaway from what he said was that we are our number one asset. So to have a good education and to surround ourselves with people who are better than us, to work for someone who we admire, to look up to them. And he said that we should be the person that we would want to hire. Question and answer came to a close. He looked at his list of the 8 universities and said, let's have 2 female students from NAU and whatever other school. At that point I wasn't listening, because he had just said a female student from NAU. We met him outside and shook his hand, and we got into his car and drove to the restaurant. It was really amazing. No limo, nothing flashy, him driving his car, like driving a friend to the restaurant. It was great. It made me feel comfortable and relatable to him, because he asked me where I was from, and I was born in England, and I moved here 15 years ago. But I still consider myself a British citizen, and that's still home. He said, I know how you feel. When I moved to Washington with my parents, I had always wanted to come back to Omaha. And then he had tried living in New York for a while and wanted to come back to Omaha, and he's been there ever since. So he said, I can relate to that, wanting to live at home. So that was nice that he actually talked to me about it, not just listen to my answer and move on. So attentive. I took a 6-page of notes, everything he said. Because I wanted to remember his jokes and his advice, and not just the business advice. I wanted to remember it.